welcome to Fearless DIY Music. My name is Tristan Lass, and today I want to present the first half of an experiment that I've been wanting to conduct for many years. What I have done is I've taken a very cheap, crappy humbucker pickup. I disassembled it completely. I removed all of the coil windings from each of the individual coils, and then I rewound it with a single strand of wire to make it into a big single coil pickup. So when you look at these wires right here, we'll move a little closer to the camera, see how it does. When you look at those wires, that is all just one continuous wind, so it is officially a single coil. I did keep both sets of magnets in there, and it's an experiment. I wanted to see if I could convert a crappy, bad sounding humbucker into something different, into something new. And when I was searching on the internet about, this idea, I found nothing anywhere about this. This is not a coil split. This is not, a coil tap. This is a removal of the two individual coils and then wrapping the bobbins with one wrap of wire. So, to do so, I actually mounted this entire assembly onto my pickup winder, and it held. I thought maybe the weight of the metal plate and the magnets and the screws and the slugs and everything else would just throw it all out of balance, but somehow it managed to hold on there, was perfectly steady, and I just wound it as if I was winding a single coil. Now the big trick is you have to, do what you would do on a normal humbucker. Since we have a metal plate and we have, no clear solder points that are, isolated like you would on a single coil bobbin, what I did is I went ahead and wound the beginnings and the ends of the coil by attaching wire with insulation at either end and then taping them in. Of course, the first one, the first end of the wire, of course, just gets covered up by the winds, and then the second one I just fastened in using electrical tape to secure the coil and secure my coil wires. As you might see as well, if I hold this up, I used tape, binding tape, which is really strong, to hold the wires in place so they don't pull out and break from the coil. So I have tested this, and I'll run another quick test here with my ohm meter here, and we'll just take a quick look and see what we got. And we're testing right at 5.5K. So we will see, and if I did I did a version of this before this version that was overwound more, and the problem with that is that the bobbins just wouldn't accommodate that many winds. So I ended up going to 6,000 winds on this to achieve that. It's a 5.5 to 5.75 K reading. So let's go ahead, and I want to show, I have this connected to my amp, and it is live, plugging in the pickup. And from the sound of it, we've got a pretty good output coming from this pickup. Now, the next step, and by the way, I'll pause here for a second. I've probably been scrolling pictures, and I will scroll pictures of the process as I have been talking. So you can kind of see and take screenshots of what I went through to go ahead and make this unique pickup. Unique as far as I know. I'm sure somebody else has done this experiment before. If anybody knows of anybody who's done this, please leave it in the comments. That would be awesome. So now the next step is I need to put it in a guitar. So over the next few days, I'm going to choose an instrument. I'm going to remove one of its pickups and pop this in, and I'll be back with a play test. We'll see if it sounds any good or not. All right, I'll see you right now. And I'm back. I decided to install the SingleBucker here in the bridge position of my handcrafted hollow body guitar, my design, completely hand built. And let's take a listen to it clean, and then we'll take a listen to it with a little bit of dirt, and I'll attempt to play the same thing twice on it here. All right, let's get started. All right, let's put a little dirt on it. It is a very bright and clear pickup. I put, like I said earlier, just a couple seconds ago, or about a minute and a half ago, I put about 6,000 whines on this. If I had it to do over again, which I am going to do it over again because I like the overall sound of this particular pickup that I've kind of come up with, I think that I'll go to 7,000 whines to try to bring a little bit more mid-range into the mix and to boost the overall volume of the pickup a little bit. I do think that the output is really nice. It is super clear. It is you know, almost on the edge of ice picky. Let's go ahead and take the gain off and just listen to it relatively clean here. All right, let's compare that to the rhythm pickup. So it has, if you're looking for a pickup that's going to cut through the mix, this SingleBucker idea, it definitely delivers. It reminds me a little bit of almost a little bit brighter sounding Jazzmaster pickup, which are already pretty bright to begin with. But I think that if I get those extra 1,000 whines on there, I might be onto something with this idea. Like I said at the outset, this was an experiment. This was something where I had an idea, I pursued it, I went ahead, you know, and I think that a lot of people have these cheap, crappy, you know, humbucking pickups laying around that are really of no use, you know, once you get some better pickups installed, or if you just, you know, you get kind of tired of just the crap tone of like a $19 humbucking pickup. What you can do is, if you have them already installed in the guitar that you bought, like a budget instrument, or if you bought some just to get a project off the ground and now they're laying in a drawer, ripping them apart, coiling them with one coil of wire, and experimenting with how many whines and what kind of potentiometer you want to use with it, capacitors, you know, in your tone circuit. I think this opens up a world of possibilities for DIY enthusiasts who want to experiment with different kinds of pickups. And like I said, where I think this lands is somewhere in a, you know, in between like a Telecaster bridge pickup, at least in the bridge position here, or a Jazzmaster pickup. And it kind of lives somewhere in between those two. And I think that it's super cool. And it has brought life to this guitar that was not there before. It's very, you know, it's very present now. I feel like I could actually track with the bridge pickup in this guitar now and have it just cut right through the mix. And my worst case scenario is if it's a little bit too bright, I just roll my tone control and I'm all set. So that is the SingleBucker story. I'm sure that I will be coming back to this as I experiment more. If I install, you know, if I do a new version of this with closer to like, you know, 7,000, 7,200 whines, I may do a follow-up video where I explore it a little bit more. But for the initial experiment, this is version 1. It's in the guitar. You just heard it. And I hope that it inspires other people to try similar experiments, if not doing this very same thing. because why let all those crappy old humbuckers go to waste? All right, well, thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to this point in the video, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe. Subscriptions are going up, and that is wonderful. I'm really eternally grateful to everyone who's been watching the channel and going ahead and smashing that subscribe button. Like I said, likes, shares, and in the comments, what do you think of this pickup? Is it too bright? Is this just a silly idea? Is it beyond the scope of like, oh, do you really want to take the time to wind an old crappy pickup when you could probably just go ahead and buy a single coil that would do the same? I think there's a certain satisfaction in coming up with a new idea, pursuing it, and then going ahead and implementing it is just very satisfying. And that's what this channel is all about. Take some chances, have some fun, and we'll see you next time with another experiment or two maybe. Take care.